We often wonder, what happens to the soul after a person passes away? This is a mysterious question that has fascinated humanity for thousands of years. In today's video, we will explore together one of the most profound and emotional topics: the journey of the soul when leaving the body. Where will the soul go? Why do some souls seem to remain on earth, lost in their journey to find light? Death, with all its mystery and unpredictability, always evokes a series of questions that no one can fully answer. But we can find out together. What really happens when the silver thread, the connection between soul and body, is severed? Most souls will gently move to another dimension, finding rest. However, there are also souls who cannot leave, held back by strong constraints, from incomplete relationships, intense emotions, to fear of the unknown. Today, we will learn about these lost souls, how to recognize them, what makes them different, and more importantly, how we can help them achieve peace. Along the way, we'll explore how these spirits can continue to interact with us, sending important messages or even providing support in our most difficult moments. Let's embark on this magical journey to better understand the afterlife and our connection to our souls. This dialogue is crucial to understanding that death is not the end, but simply another stage in the soul's journey. Understanding it not only allows us to better deal with the death process, but also helps those who have already made their transition. When a person dies, their physical body stops functioning and the soul separates from it. This moment, known as the breaking of the silver thread, is an ethereal connection that unites the soul with the body throughout life. After this event, the soul advances towards a different reality, far from our material world. This change involves a transformation in the vibrations and energetic structure of the soul. For many, this transit is fluid and serene. As soon as the physical body ceases to live, the soul quickly finds its way to the light. Leave earthly attachments behind, finish all your affairs on this plane, and move to a new level, to a world where harmony and peace reign. This new level is known as the home of the soul, a place where it continues its existence free of physical limitations. These souls can continue to develop, learn, and help other souls on their path. However, not all souls can leave the earthly plane so easily. There are many reasons why the transition process can be prolonged or complicated. Some souls remain tied to events or people on earth. This may be due to strong emotional ties, such as love, attachment to family, or fear for loved ones left behind. Souls who experience these feelings may remain on earth longer because they find it difficult to leave earthly affairs and move to another level. Sometimes the reason for the delay in soul transition is feelings of guilt or unresolved conflicts. If a person in life experienced deep regrets, could not complete important matters, or forgive someone, his soul can remain in this world to try to find a solution. These souls need help to free themselves from their attachments and move into the light. Often in such cases, a medium or spirit guide intervenes to help the soul complete its earthly journey and find peace. There are also souls who do not understand that they are no longer in their physical body. They continue to live unaware of their death and may remain on the earthly plane until they recognize their new reality. These souls often need spiritual help to understand that their earthly path is over and that they must move on. It is important to understand that time for the soul after death does not exist in the usual sense for us. When the soul leaves the body, it enters a world where there is no linear time. This makes it difficult to determine how long exactly a soul can remain on earth. To us, it may seem like a long period, but to the soul that is in a different state of consciousness, This period of time may be completely imperceptible. Each soul is unique, and its path after death depends on many factors, such as the level of spiritual development, life actions, and conscious attitude towards existence. The transition process can take different times for different souls. Some find their way to the light easily, while others may stay on this plane longer due to unresolved emotional or spiritual issues. In any case, the transition process is a crucial part of the soul's journey, and every action after death is aimed at completing this phase and moving into a new state of being. Not all souls can pass into the light immediately after death. Some remain on the earthly plane, and the reasons for this can be varied. It is important to understand that such souls are in a special state where they need time to let go of earthly attachments or resolve internal conflicts. There are three main categories of souls that can remain on earth: wandering souls, souls remaining for their loved ones, and lost souls. The first category is wandering souls. These are those who could not complete their journey and find their way to the light on their own. These souls can get stuck on the earthly plane due to strong emotional ties or unresolved issues in life. They may experience feelings of guilt, remorse, or deep emotions that do not allow them to leave this world. Wandering souls often need the help of a medium or guide to show them the way to the light. These souls may be unaware of their death and remain tied to places or people, making their transition difficult. For example, they may stay close to their homes or in places where important events in their life occurred. In such cases, the intervention of a medium helps them realize that their earthly path has ended and that it is time to move on. The second category is the souls who remain for their loved ones. Many wonder, why do some souls choose to stay on earth after death? These souls, moved by deep love and care for their loved ones, decide to stay close to support them in difficult times. For example, they may sense the pain that your departure has caused and choose to stay, providing comfort and support at critical times. They are not trapped on the earthly plane as lost souls, but choose to stay to fulfill a mission of protection and guidance towards their loved ones. Sometimes these souls remain present to guide their family or assist them with complex life challenges. It is crucial to understand that, although they remain on earth, these souls have already found their way to the light. However, they are granted the possibility of returning to continue offering their help. Over time, when they consider that their mission is accomplished, they move definitively to the world of light, leaving behind a legacy of peace and protection. Finally, we find the lost souls. These are souls that are held back by intense negative emotions, such as fear or anger. They may feel guilty for actions committed during their life, and fear being judged or punished after death. Often, they are not ready to move towards the light, because they believe they must be punished for their mistakes. Fear of the unknown and possible judgment for their actions prevents them from moving forward. These souls need time to free themselves from their negative emotions and find peace. Although these souls have no bad intentions, they require help and support to overcome their fears. Like wandering souls, they often seek the help of mediums who make it easier for them to get rid of their attachments and negative emotions. Each category of souls has its own characteristics and reasons for remaining on the earthly plane. It is essential to understand that no matter what category a soul belongs to, they will all eventually find their way to the light. This process varies from case to case, but with the right guidance and support, all souls can complete their journey and ultimately achieve peace. Sometimes after a loved one leaves this world, we continue to feel their presence. The souls that remain close to us find various ways to transmit their signals and remind us of their existence. These signs are not always obvious. but they can manifest themselves in different forms and situations. Many people report feeling something special that helps them understand that their deceased loved one is still close. Although physically he is no longer there, let's look at some of the most common signs that can indicate the presence of a soul. One of the most common signs is the sudden feeling of presence. It can be the feeling that someone is next to you, even though you know that physically there is no one. This feeling can manifest itself in different ways: heat, coolness, or even a light touch. Many report that in these moments they feel an emotional connection with their deceased loved ones, as if the soul is trying to reassure them and offer support. Another important sign may be an unexplained odor related to the person who has left. It could be their favorite perfume, the smell of flowers, or food that reminds you of him or her. These aromas often appear suddenly and disappear just as quickly, leaving the feeling that the soul has conveyed its presence through a familiar and comforting signal. Another way souls can manifest their presence is through the unexpected appearance of objects. For example, you may suddenly find things related to the deceased person in the most unexpected places. They could be photos, letters, or personal items that remind you. Sometimes these objects appear even in places where you wouldn't expect to find them. This can be perceived as a sign that the soul wants you to remember it and remember the moments shared. Another common way souls can transmit their signals is through dreams. Many people claim to have seen their deceased loved ones in dreams, and these dreams are often different from usual ones. In these dreams, a strong emotional presence of the soul is perceived, and the dream itself leaves a feeling of peace and tranquility. These dreams can be especially vivid and memorable, leading people to wonder if it was an attempt by the loved one to convey an important message or simply to comfort. It is also important to pay attention to the coincidences and synchronicities that occur in your life. For example, you may listen to a song that reminds you of your loved one, or encounter a situation symbolically related to them. It can be your favorite tune heard at the perfect moment, or a phrase spoken by someone that makes you feel like you are in touch with the soul of the deceased. These moments are often interpreted as signs that the soul is trying to maintain contact and send you a message. Another important sign may be changes in the environment, such as fluctuations in temperature or movement of objects for no apparent reason. For example, many people report feeling a sudden drop in temperature in a room or seeing objects move when no one is around. These phenomena are often associated with the presence of a soul that in this way wants to show that it is still close. Finally, another sign may be the appearance of unexplained technical failures. Sometimes people notice that their phones, computers, or other electronic devices start to behave strangely. They turn on or off by themselves. Strange noises appear or malfunctions appear. These events can be interpreted as a way in which the soul attempts to gain attention through the interaction channels available to it. These signs may be subtle and not always obvious, but for those who are open to noticing them, they can become a real source of comfort. Souls can continue to influence our lives even after their physical presence has ended, and those signs can help us feel their love and care despite separation. Each soul, despite its physical death, continues its journey in another dimension. It is important to remember that this path does not end at the moment of departure, and many souls find ways to stay close to us, providing us with support and guidance. The transition into the light occurs uniquely for each soul, depending on their emotional state, their attachments, and their unfinished business. For some, soul transit may be instantaneous, while for others it may require more time and guidance. No matter how arduous the path, every soul longs to complete its earthly journey and achieve peace. Sometimes they require the intervention of mediums or spiritual guides to overcome their fears and doubts. But inevitably, each of them finds the light, sheds their earthly attachments, and continues their journey towards a more harmonious realm. The signs that souls leave us can be subtle and easily ignored. But for those open to perceiving them, they become a crucial source of comfort and support. Experiencing the presence of a departed loved one, feeling their essence in a perfume that seems to float suddenly, in a dream so vivid that it seems real, or in those unexpected events that fill us with wonder, is a profound reminder that the bond that unites us with them does not disappear. It transcends death itself. It is strengthened in the intangible, in a love that goes beyond what we can explain. Feeling that closeness, that silent protection, offers us comfort and invites us to see death not as an end, but as a door to something greater, towards eternity. Souls always find ways to communicate with us. Sometimes they do it with signals so subtle that they seem like a whisper. Others, with moments so intense that they stop us and make us reflect. Although we are not always aware of their presence, they are there, watching, caring, accompanying us. Each soul follows its own path. Some rise into the light quickly, while others stay a little longer, resolving unfinished business, leaving messages, or simply making sure their loved ones are at peace. This mystery, full of love and purpose, connects us to something much deeper. Understanding that death is not the end, but a step in the eternal journey of the soul, transforms our perspective. It invites us to value each moment more, to resolve the conflicts that weigh on the heart, to love with intensity and without reservations. It reminds us that the bonds we form, the love we give and receive, are the only thing that truly lasts. What legacy of love are we building today? And although the loss may hurt, knowing that these souls are with us, that their messages reach us in unexpected ways, fills us with hope. Let's open our hearts. Let's be receptive to those signs, because they are telling us, you are not alone. I invite you to a moment of reflection, to think about those who have passed away, about what they left in you, about how you can honor their memory with your life. And while we do it, let's say a prayer together. Heavenly Father, thank you for the eternal connection that you give us through love. We ask you for light for the souls that continue their path to you, and peace for those of us who still feel their absence on this plane. Help us to live with gratitude, to love without fear, and find comfort in the certainty that our souls, in the end, will be reunited with you. May your infinite peace fill our hearts today and always. Remember this: love never dies, true bonds are never broken, and souls always find their way back to us. May this reflection fill you with hope and inspire you to live with more love, with more fullness, and with the certainty that each step we take brings us closer to something greater and eternal.